What's up, everybody? Almighty N here. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today I'm gonna give you guys the way I structure my campaigns, the way I structure my sessions that I run, and I'm gonna tell the story of the first session we had in this new campaign I'm running right now. So this was about December-ish when we started this, and so now we're further along. But I'll read not read it all, but give you the points of what we did in that first session. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys. Hit that intro. All right, guys. So I'm going to show you the way I structure my campaign, some stuff I use in the campaign, and then I'll tell you a story about the campaign. So this is the first session of my second campaign I'm running now. All right, this was the first one. This was like in December, and we're now where we are now. And here we go. So this is the way I should really reset this every time I reshoot the video, right? I've already shot this video 3 times. It's coming out really long. I'm trying to condense it. So here we go. Here's my 4th attempt. All right, guys. Yeah. This is the way that I structure this session. So I write down this stuff. So here's the box at the top is tavern. So that's we didn't start in a tavern, but you always have a starting point, and we were somewhat starting in a tavern. Then I do this triangle here, and it didn't happen on this paper. I didn't write it, but A, B, C. And these are like the things. I ended up writing them on this side, and then I just ended up writing the stories for each one. So they can choose one of these missions. They didn't know they were going to run into people and stuff like that during the session. And, you know, they were eventually going to accept one of these missions. This was a lot of new players. So I wanted to run it like this. So they were just going to be railroaded. I'm not going to lie and tell you not. They were going to be railroaded. They're all new players. And when you run in a new player game, you kind of want to railroad a bit. I don't ever railroad 100% because you'll see I leave a lot of stuff open, but they have the main story. And I do this no matter what. Even if you're more experienced, I like to railroad a bit. I like to tell my main story, and hopefully they enjoy it. If they don't, then we'll spin off and go somewhere else. But so here it is. And then there was maze, but we didn't do a maze. We did a maze, but you'll see. And I put that there for because I don't like to put encounter. Okay, I like to do maze or puzzle or riddles, encounter, and then something else fun, encounters, whatever. How I like to mix it up, okay, or just a couple things that are fun, they're going through a similar something like a maze. They're going through a riddle, a puzzle, a maze, and then the encounter at the end. So I like to do stuff like that where they have to think, figure it out, and have a good time doing it. So funny things, funny riddles, stuff like that. And then your main overarching boss that they're going to fight at the end of the session. So that's the way I run my session. So in this one, they had Beggar's Hole, Bucking Grave Wilds, and Black Hollow. They were in the town of Black Hollow, and Beggar's Hole is the slums of Black Hollow. And then, you have Bucking Grave Wilds, which is on the outskirts of town. It's the wilderness right there. And then Black Hollow was one of the selections also, if they could have stood in the town and figured out some other stuff. So they chose Beggar's Hole, which I felt bad because I kind of led to that. And I feel like they didn't feel like they had another choice, but they did. There was all the other choices. So right here, and I'll get into that after. Sorry, my handwriting is horrible, guys, but as long as I could understand it for my campaigns, and as long as you can understand your writing. Here is, like I said, I don't like to railroad 100%. So if they decide to leave that town, I keep these charts of other town names, other forest names, and other kingdoms that they can go to. I like to do this. Like I said, I don't like my players to feel like they're railroaded. At the same time, you kind of railroad them by, if they decide to leave Black Hollow and go to, Wingston, then all my story just goes to Wingston now. So it kind of feels like they're free to do whatever they want, but at the same time, you're going to follow the story, So you want to make them feel like it's all their choice, because it is their choice. They don't have to do nothing that you set up. But you also, you work hard on the campaign too, as you can see from everything I do to set up. You, as a DM, you work hard on your campaign. You want your players to enjoy it, and you also want to enjoy it and see how the campaign works out. So I do that. I put some like a map of like the tavern they were in, and then their story stuff. And then so watch. Here is a little piece of like after they chose. I kind of just wrote down here of what was gonna happen. So it's just like I said, handwriting's horrible. So it's like head to the tavern, explain. Like meet up with your party and explain what happened. Because that's what happened in the story, and I'll get to that when I tell the little story. Now you're in Black Hollow, woods, getting lost, riddles. So I'll tell when I get in the story. And then a dungeon or cave, however you want. And then puzzle rings, and then wizard paladins. And then I wrote down the like characters, like ACs and stuff like that. Armor classes, if you don't know what that is. Okay. So that's pretty much how it happened. And then, and these. I don't know if I showed these yet. But these are just little charts that I like to write up. And I have more. I have like a steno book, I think it's called. Where like the paper folds up like that. And I write down all these charts. So I have like NPC names. I have town names. I have, just items. And these were the items I was using in this. Not in this one, but in one of my other campaigns. My more recent ones. So I was using these. And then I also like to use these. So it has a riddle on it. And I just like to have these, and I leave them inside. Like when I use my map, I put them in like rooms. And when they get to that room, I'll place it, and boom, they'll see it or whatever it is. So I like to use those. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you guys can use as a DM. All right. So yeah, these little charts, I'll read off some of the stuff I have in here. Gloves of thievery, gloves of swimming, gloves of climbing. You have a shield +1. You have a portable hole. Yeah, a portable hole. A bag of beans. Slippery oil. Funny hat. Keys. A bucket. A barrel. An empty bottle. A dead rat. A dead rat. A hat of disguise. Some old clothes. Wine. Herbs. Folding tent. A folding boat. There's cool little stuff like that I could give them. Some of these things, like, they just find, like, if they're searching, like, a room, like an old dusty room, that's where you'll be like, oh, you found a dead rat in the corner. Stuff like that. You don't want to leave your dungeon empty. Or, cave or whatever you're running. All right, so I will tell the little, sorry if you hear some music. My son is playing on his car right here, so he's having a good old time. And I love him. Okay, guys, so here's the story. So this is what happened. So they walked into town with Black Hollow, and then you have our half orc and our goblin coming together. They're rolling into town together. They're best friends. They go everywhere together, and they're meeting up with their old party that they used to adventure with, just to have a drink at this town. And they're all meeting up, and as soon as they walk into town, they hear a commotion, like a clatter, and some stuff falls over because they're at a marketplace, walking through the marketplace. And this guy runs up. He grabs the half-orc. He's like, please help. The half-orc, what's wrong with you? Throws him to the side. And he's like, please. He gets on his knees. And he's like, here. And he gives them a pouch with cards. He gives them an amulet, and he gives them a piece of parchment, paper. And he's like, please help me. And he runs away. Boom. Takes off. And they're just standing there like, what the fuck? And sorry for cussing. But yeah, so they're like, what's going on here? And then you get this guards coming. Full black armor. Full black heavy armor. Can't even see their faces. Like bucket helmets, everything. Black with silver trim. And they have a yellow crest on their chest with a 7 and 7 stars. And that's their uniform. And then you have one dude riding a horse. There's 4 guards. And there's one dude riding a horse, kind of like a captain. And he has like gold trim instead of silver trim. And he has like a little bit of different armor, like nicer. He looks good. Like, he comes riding, chasing after that dude. They didn't see nothing. They kind of stashed stuff. And they go and they talk to the tavern now. They go to the tavern. They tell the party, hey, look, what happened to us. This is what happened. This dude gave us some stuff. And they hadn't even looked at it. So they're looking at it. They're reading the piece of paper saying, it's very vague. It's just like, Beggar's Hole, Dingledorf, which is like the wizard that runs this magic shop, and Seven Sanctum, please help. And they're like, we don't even know what this means. But as they're doing that, our half orc decides that he's gonna open the pouch and pull out a card. For those of you who know already, this was a deck of many things. He pulls out Ki. I believe it was Ki. Ki's the one that gives you a magical weapon. So in his hands materializes this giant golden axe. Because he was a half-orc barbarian. He used the great axe already. He gets a beautiful golden axe that does 3d10 damage at the time. Well, not anymore. But at that time, it does 3d10 damage. If he rolls a 20, I think it hacks the guy in half. And it also drinks the blood and transfers the energy to him. So if like he slices somebody, whatever hit points he takes away, he gets to keep till he's max health again. So when he's not max health, he can't absorb nothing. But when he isn't, he absorbs whatever hit points he took away from his enemies when he's using this axe. So as he goes on, it'll get better. Like, it's already better, and I don't want to get into that. But anyway, so yeah, he pulls that. Now everybody wants to pull a Ki, and they pull some stuff. One of the players pulls Void. Yeah, that got out of hand real fast. But it was fun. I pulled out the Void card after that. I pulled out Balance. I pulled out a couple other cards because one of our dudes literally pulled 3 cards in a row it was Void, Balance, and something else. Void, he gets trapped in a void, and the other one, he got trapped in like an object. It was just like, okay, no. So yeah, so he ended up settling for the one where you have an NPC eventually try and kill you. So he didn't not have good luck. Everybody else pulled great ones, like Knight. One of them pulled Knight, Throne, and Gem. Throne is one kind of, it's like the middle tier, where you have to like clear out a keep. It's your keep now, but it's full of monsters. So anyway, so moving past that, so they go into the woods. They end up like keep looping around in the same spot. And then it turns out there's like a forest spirit, and they have to like answer these riddles. They pass the riddles. They go to like the dungeon lair. It's like just like a staircase, like just like a doorway, like kind of like an outhouse. And they walk in. It's a staircase down. And they go in, and then at the beginning they find 5 metal rings, golden rings. And our half-orc loves gold, but he didn't even like care about them. They were looking at like the weapons and like stupid stuff like that. And they were about to go through the door when our gnome bard was like, hey, maybe we should take these rings. Like, maybe they're important. I never acknowledged the rings. I just told them they were there in the corner. They were like dusty golden rings and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so they ended up grabbing the rings. The half-orc was all excited after that, like, I got a gold ring. He was like chewing on it, and he loves shiny things. And they go into the room, and they have to place them in. After a while, it's like kind of like a maze. They have to place the rings, and it opens up a door somewhere in the maze. And so they didn't know this, but they found these holes, and they figured out that once they place the rings in them, it like lights up, and it sinks in. And so they started finding these, and there was 5 of them. When it came down to the half-orc, he was like, I don't want to give up my ring. Like, this is my favorite ring. They're like, you just found it. He's like, I loved it for years. Like, he did not want to give it up. Finally, he gives it up, puts it in. He puts peanut butter or cheese in there first to see if that works. Didn't work. And, yeah. And he tried to, like, break the door open when they found the door before he gave up his ring. And then finally gave up the ring. Door opens. They go in. It's the wizard. And it's 5 guards, 5 of the 7 Sanctum dudes, and they get into a fight. They beat the dudes, and the wizard starts to chant. And as he's chanting, he like casts lightning, and it strikes everybody. Boom, 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 just massive lightning bolts. This dude's like way higher level than them, almost takes them all down to dead. And then the floor starts to glow, and a flash of light, boom, and that's where that session ended. So, yeah, they awoke in the next session, and I'll get to that in another video. But that's pretty much what happened in that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be doing another one soon. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here, guys. I hope you enjoy the content. Catch you in the next one.